Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Real Estate Investing. In today's episode, you'll learn about 5 real estate pro tips you can use right now. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help. If you need help finding a top agent where you live or you simply want to drop me a line to say hi, my contact info is in the show more description below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get into this. So, with real estate investors, it's pretty interesting. Sometimes you find those real estate investors that actually are consistently making money, they know the market, they're doing well, but all too often you find real estate investors that get into the market, they lose money, and then it's almost like when you hear a lot of people that own a boat or something, that own a yacht, they're like, you really gotta love it and you're gonna lose a lot of money in the process of doing it if you don't know what you're doing. It's the same thing with real estate investing. Having some of these pro tips today, jotting them down, thinking about them, referring back to this video are gonna really help you going forward. So let's start going into knowing the market. What you wanna know about the market is you first wanna find a really good real estate agent to work with. I can help you find a top agent if you don't already have one, but you want to be upfront and you want to be very clear with them of what your plans are, what your intentions are, and make sure that you're both a good fit, because the real estate agent may not want to work with you or you may not want to work with them. So make sure that you find first of all, find an agent that you guys click well and you guys can work together and are on lockstep together to help each other out there. So the reason that you want that is because a professional real estate agent is going to have access to the multiple listing service. They're going to know how the current price trends are going in the area. They're going to know what to look for and see what homes are accelerating faster than others in a given part of town, or if you have two cities close together, which one is accelerating more quickly. They'll know what the average home price is in relation to neighboring communities and neighboring towns, and they'll also be able to provide an idea of where the biggest demand is based upon that information. So it'll also keep you in line with knowing when and how to make a fair market offer based upon a property's condition, which property markets and industry, or which market and areas are getting to be too overheated, and when it's best just to sit back and wait a little bit, or reassess your city of choice and find another one. So a real estate agent's gonna be able to help you with all of that. Excuse me. So the number one pro tip is actually getting pre-approved for a mortgage. If you're not a cash investor that's going to be buying these properties cash, getting pre-approved for a mortgage is going to make it a lot better for you, especially whenever you have everything in step, everything, your real estate agent has everything, you're talking about properties, you're coming up with a showing schedule, or if maybe you're an out-of-state investor, you're asking your agent to go check out those properties, and then you're going to get ready to write an offer. Having that pre-approval done up front makes sure that you're able to get in an offer quickly, especially if the market is competitive, and that you might be able to secure that deal as well, and it's going to show financial strength to the seller of that property as well. The second thing that you want to do is you want to look for some kind of catalyst, and what the catalyst that we're looking at here is what is a desirable area in the future. So, if we're in a market right now where we're seeing rapid home appreciation and we're seeing expansive growth taking place right now, as home prices continue to rise, what's most likely going to be the desirable area of the city is, and what should we be looking for with that, and what is the most desirable area within the city right now in terms of infrastructure, in terms of new schools. And it's a really good sign that if you see new infrastructure going in, if you see grading going on the side, if you're driving down the freeway and you look off to the right or the left hand side and you see that the land is being graded, you see roads going in, you see new lights going in, you see new schools going in, you see new communities and stuff going in, that's probably going to be an area that you're going to want to be a part of if you can find a home in that new home construction phase, or even if you find a resale somewhere around it. Probably something that you're going to want to snap up, because it's going to become increasingly more desirable with all those new homes, with all those new community features, with the schools going in, better access to shopping, better access to transportation. It's going to be a boom for the property value in and around that area more than likely. So spotting new developments are very easy. Like I said, just look out the side of the window as you're driving, and if the land is being cleared, surveyed, or beginnings of construction around major roadways, those are all really big tip-offs, as are like if traffic lanes and extra installation of turnaround lanes are being installed as well. Then you have a good idea of what's going on. So working with that trusted real estate advisor that we talked about earlier, another good thing is that oftentimes they'll have a very good idea of what major planned communities are coming up, where the tracts of land are being released, and what new home builders are building where, and when they're planning on building it. The other thing that you can also look at, and another thing that you want to consider underneath the catalyst, is also looking at like property taxes, which you can go to the local tax assessor's office or website and simply check it out, and check out the tax rate on, normally like in Las Vegas, Nevada, they do it on per thousand, right? So it's like $5.10 real property transfer tax per $1,000. So if you had a house at $200,000, 510 times 200 essentially is the math. You're looking at $1,020 as your real property transfer tax for selling that property, and the tax rate itself here in Las Vegas, Nevada is like 0.91%. So you need to know what your tax rate is and whether it's going to be subject to a possible reassessment going forward. Knowing these things will help you make a smarter financial decision. It'll also let you know what's going on. And another thing that you want to look at, especially in cities that are kind of growing very rapidly and you might see signs of overcrowding. A good sign of overcrowding is whenever you see schools being filled to capacity and that the freeways and stuff are perpetually gridlocked. Those are really good indications that you have an overcrowding going on. How does this relate to your property tax, you might be wondering, and it's a great question. Well, the city's probably going to say, hey, we need to expand these streets, we need to build more schools. Where do you think they're going to get that money from? Your tax dollars. So if you have city A and you have city B and you see overcrowding in city A, then city B isn't overcrowded. Probably stay away from city A and start planning on city B, because as everything starts shaping up in the city A becomes more overcrowded, taxes are going up and everything else is going down over there, city B just became a lot more attractive, especially if there's only like a 20 or 30 minute commute or 20 or 30 mile commute. In between the two, you're going to find a lot of residents of City A moving to City B and people moving into the area choosing City B over City A. So that's going to be a boon for you as an investor, looking out for that to begin with. Tip number 3 here is checking the school rankings. There's a lot of different sites that you could check school rankings. Generally, schools that are faring extremely well on the math and English test are going to be ranking or going to be rising up the rankings of schools. Now, why are schools important? Schools are important because the school ratings are desirable. The higher the school rating are desirable for parents, and parents want to access higher quality education, and it becomes a very strong selling point for them to actually buy a property to get their kid into a certain school district that's going to give them the best level of education, and it's easily researchable on different education websites. You can actually check your state board's education website for the school rankings. There's a site called psk12.com. Again, psk12.com that you can check out. Greatschools.org. I mean, there's a lot of these places that you can check out and check the school ratings in and around the property that you're considering investing in. The fourth thing that you want to keep an eye out for is watch the outskirts of a city. Right now in Las Vegas, Nevada, we're seeing it already. On the outskirts of the city, we're starting to have more new home construction. There's more grading going on. They're taking the city out further to build more entry-level type homes, to build more affordable housing for the first-time home buyers, and to build new communities, because everything in the city is getting more and more expensive, and unfortunately it's pricing out a lot of first-time home buyers and people that want to buy a house. So they're building out towards the outskirts where it's cheaper to buy that land and build those homes. If you're watching outskirts and you see that anything in the major city or the town that you live in or the area that you want to invest in are becoming overpriced, then look at the outer fringes, because more than likely those outer fringes and outskirts of the city are going to become highly desirable and in demand soon. So keep that in mind. Now, what I'd like you to do, tip 5 is actually the explore low tax alternatives. So again, City A has a high tax, or at least ways a progressively increasing tax. City B does not. Then stay away from City A and choose City B that has more stable property taxes, because the lower taxes are going to be more, or at least ways usually more in demand than the higher city with a higher tax rate city. These are 5 pro tips that you can use right now for your real estate investing goals. Tell me which one of these tips you learned the most about today, and which one you're going to put into practice, and how you're going to use it in your real estate investment goals in the comment section below. Is it going to be getting approved for a mortgage? Is it going to be considering the catalyst, looking for a catalyst in the area that you want to invest? Or how are you going to explore those outskirts of the city, and what's your plan? Tell us in the comment section below. I'm going to put my contact information up. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line and say hi, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, like this video, and share this video around with someone you know is going to be a help. Thank you so much for watching today, and between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching.